last week that he could potentially assume control of the Mueller probe, telling Reuters that, quote, I can go in and I could do whatever. I could run it if I want. The New York Times rebuking Trump for these kinds of comments, writing, quote, in his attempt at self-defense amid the swirl of legal cases and investigations involving himself, his aides and his associates, Mr. Trump is directly undermining the people and processes that are the foundation of the nation's administration of justice. The result is a president at war with the law. Again, the New York Times there. All of this coming amid new questions on whether Jeff Sessions will remain in his post as Attorney General. After standing firmly behind Sessions, Republicans now appear more willing or open at least to replace him. Joined now by Paul Butler, former U.S. attorney and MSNBC legal analyst, and Shannon Pettypiece, a White House correspondent for Bloomberg News. Shannon, let me start with you. So the president, a lot of different ways, I guess, to look at that tweet storm, if you want to call it that he went on over the weekend there. Is he trying to distract from the news of the week? Is he blowing off steam? Is he trying more broadly to simply discredit these agencies that he thinks are going after him? But my question to you is, do we know of tangible, specific things he may be considering to do in line with those things that he's tweeting?
Well, there certainly is an effort by him and his lawyers to launch a very clear public relations attack on Mueller's team of investigators, on the FBI, on anyone who has touched this investigation, on any witness like Michael Cohen who might speak out against him. The president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, it's very clear that he feels he is waging a public relations war, that this is not a closed-door investigation. This is a public investigation. And so they see this as being the only way to prevent impeachment, really, that if the Democrats can take control of the House, the president's allies feel that impeachment is inevitable, and the only way to stop that is to unleash these continual public relations attack against this entire investigation.
Right. So Paul, Shannon describing a political strategy there, basically saying, hey, anything we're hit with here legally, ultimately impeachment's a political question. If you can keep Republicans in line in the House and the Senate, even if Democrats win back the majority this November, probably wouldn't have a two-thirds majority to get rid of him. So if that's the bottom line there, I'm curious, from a prosecutor's standpoint, if you're investigating somebody who is employing a very highly public political strategy, does that affect your work as a prosecutor, as an investigator at all?
Normally it wouldn't, because at the end of the day, the people who would decide the fate of that politician would be a jury of his or her peers. The President of the United States is the only person who that doesn't apply to, because the Justice Department will follow its guidelines, not written in the Constitution, an interpretation that a sitting president can't be indicted. So in that sense, the strategy is correct. It should be a political strategy rather than a criminal strategy. That's good news maybe for President Trump, but it's bad news for the rule of law. The president's view is that he owns, as it is, the Attorney General and the director of the FBI. He thinks that they owe him a pledge of loyalty. He thinks that he should be able to direct political prosecutions against his perceived enemies like James Comey and Hillary Clinton. He thinks he should be able to dole out pardons as political favors. That's not the kind of America or the kind of leader that the framers of the Constitution imagined.
Well, and Shannon, what Paul's mentioning there about the Attorney General, about Jeff Sessions, that's the other thing that sort of has come into focus again in the last couple of days because of comments from the president and from Sessions, for that matter. But Jeff Sessions staying on as Attorney General, some signals from Republican senators that potentially now maybe they're open to replacing him. What is his status right now? How do you read it?
The president's allies in Congress have sent a strong signal: do not do anything before the November midterms. I mean, there's enough distractions the president creates every day. They have said, do not make this an issue before the November midterms. But after the November midterms, there's the signal that sort of all bets are off. And Lindsey Graham came out and said that, again, he does not think the president should do anything before November. But afterwards, he said that he feels the president has the right to have an attorney general who he trusts. If the Republicans maintain control of the House or close control, I think all bets are off for Sessions, that the president could fire him, that he has been given the signal that that would be okay. And if you don't have Democratic control of the House, I think he will feel there won't be major repercussions for it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.